Section 1. In this section, you will hear a fast-paced conversation between a traveler and a car rental agent regarding unexpected insurance charges. The dialogue contains indirect explanations, confusing policy details, and subtle implications. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon, sir. I see you're returning the compact SUV. Was everything satisfactory during your rental period?
Not exactly. I was shocked to see an extra insurance fee on my invoice. I declined all optional coverage when I booked online.
I understand your concern, but according to our system, the premium protection package was added when you picked up the vehicle yesterday.
That's impossible. I remember clearly unchecking every insurance box. Your employees said the basic coverage was mandatory, but nothing about an upgrade.
It seems there may have been a misunderstanding. The premium package activates automatically if the signature pad registers acceptance.
So you're blaming a glitch in your device for charging me an extra $85?
Not exactly, but I can request a partial adjustment. Full removal is unusual unless there's documented evidence of system error.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
Look, I travel frequently, and I've never had this issue. Other companies always confirm add-ons verbally.
I completely understand. To assure transparency, we've recently updated our policy, though it hasn't fully rolled out. Until then, employees are advised to verbally verify selections, but compliance isn't perfect.
That explains the miscommunication then. But why should I pay for your team's inconsistency?
I see your point. Let me speak with my supervisor. In the meantime, I can waive the refueling surcharge, which is $15.
That's something, but not enough. If you can at least remove half of the insurance charge, I'll accept it.
I'll submit the request. It may take up to 3 business days for approval.
Section 2. In this section, you will hear a talk by a technology ethicist discussing the societal impact of autonomous delivery robots. The monologue includes complex ideas, indirect claims, and fast-paced explanations. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Autonomous delivery robots have rapidly transitioned from experimental prototypes to common urban fixtures. While they promise efficiency, their integration raises subtle ethical concerns. For instance, their navigation algorithms prioritize obstacle avoidance, yet they often misinterpret ambiguous human gestures, leading to socially awkward encounters. In addition, these robots collect environmental data continuously, not all of which is essential for delivery tasks. Such passive surveillance, although unintentional, contributes to what some scholars call ambient data harvesting, blurring the line between convenience and intrusion. Critics argue that the lack of explicit consent from bystanders complicates the moral legitimacy of deploying these systems.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
Moreover, reliance on autonomous delivery systems could gradually reshape public expectations regarding human labor. As interactions with human couriers diminish, communities may experience a subtle decline in spontaneous social exchanges, impacting local cohesion. Another issue pertains to algorithmic favoritism. Robots programmed to choose efficient paths may inadvertently prioritize affluent neighborhoods with cleaner sidewalks and clearer navigation markers. Such bias, though unintentional, mirrors broader societal inequities, prompting calls for regulatory bodies to mandate algorithmic transparency. Ultimately, the ethical acceptability of these systems hinges on balancing operational convenience with societal well-being.
Section 3. In this section, you will hear two postgraduate students, Nora and Felix, discussing a research paper on marine bioacoustics. The conversation includes scientific terminology and nuanced reasoning. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Did you finish reading that paper on deep-sea bioacoustic mapping, the one analyzing how shipping noise alters whale communication patterns?
Yes, and I was surprised by how dramatically low-frequency engine vibrations interfere with feeding calls. The authors suggest it's not just masking, but behavioral displacement.
Exactly. Some species reportedly migrate farther offshore to escape the acoustic disturbances, even if it disrupts their breeding grounds.
But the methodology concerns me. They assumed uniform noise propagation, which isn't realistic given varying seabed textures.
True, but they acknowledged that limitation and used a correction factor during data modeling.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
Another point is the long-term implication. If whales continually shift habitats, ecological ripple effects could be significant. Predators may lose hunting efficiency, and plankton populations could surge without typical grazing pressures.
That's possible, but I'm skeptical about the plankton claim. Ocean currents redistribute them constantly, which may offset any grazing imbalance.
Fair enough. Still, the economic angle is worrying. Fisheries depend on predictable whale migrations for ecotourism revenue. If patterns change erratically, coastal communities could suffer financially.
That's why the authors call for multinational acoustic zoning policies, but implementing that would require unprecedented cooperation.
Section 4. In this section, you will hear a professor lecture on historical and modern water management systems. The lecture contains technical explanations and indirect implications. But first you have time to go through questions 1 to 5.
Throughout human civilization, urban water systems have evolved from rudimentary channels to intricate multi-layered networks. Ancient Mesopotamian cities relied on open canals, which were highly susceptible to contamination. Roman aqueducts marked a significant advance, using gravity-fed arches to transport cleaner water across vast distances. However, their reliance on lead pipes introduced long-term health consequences that went unnoticed for centuries. It wasn't until the 19th century, with the advent of sand filtration and pressurized distribution, that municipal water quality improved consistently across growing cities.
Before you hear the rest of the audio, you have time to go through questions 6 to 10.
Modern water management now incorporates advanced monitoring technologies. Smart sensors detect microbial anomalies, enabling early intervention. Additionally, decentralized treatment facilities reduce dependency on massive centralized plants, increasing resilience during natural disasters. Yet, challenges remain. Climate change intensifies evaporation rates, lowering reservoir levels, while urban expansion places additional stress on aging infrastructure. Consequently, researchers advocate integrating machine learning models to predict demand patterns more accurately and optimize resource allocation.